guys, so I hope you're well and having the most incredible day. As always, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing well. In today's video, we are going to be doing yet another reading vlog, and in today's video, I'm going to be reading my favourite booktubers' favourite books. Try saying that 5 times fast. Honestly, I filmed this intro about 18 times already, so I'm glad I got that out. Not only do I get to sit down today and read 3 of my favourite booktubers' favourite books, this video is also in collaboration with the ever so lovely Sophia, or Books with Soph, here on YouTube. She is just such a ray of sunshine. I absolutely love her content. I would be surprised if you watch BookTube and you haven't seen her videos. They are honestly so just fun to watch, easy to watch. I absolutely love them. I think my favourite videos that she does has to be either her TBR jar videos, or I just love her reading vlogs and her hauls actually. To be honest, I just love them all. She is just so fun, so lovely. So if you haven't ever seen any of her videos, I highly recommend it, and I will leave her video down below so you guys can watch her video after this one. But yes, this is in collaboration with Sophia, and essentially we are both reading 3 of our favourite booktubers' favourite books, and one of the 3 is a book we picked for each other. So 1 book from Sophia for me and 1 book from me for Sophia, and I'm so excited to see her video, and I'm so excited to get into the reading part of this video. So as I said, I am going to be reading 3 books in today's video. 1 is going to be Alexa Ray's favourite, 1 is going to be one of Larry Reed's favourites, and 1 is going to be one of Sophia's favourites. I honestly cannot wait to dive into this video. We're going to be reading 3 books. I'm so excited to read all of them because they have all been on my TBR for months, so I cannot wait to get them off and see what the hype is about. So we're going to dive right into this video. I hope you guys enjoy. Let's dive into the reading vlog. I realised I haven't really done an intro to the book I'm reading at the moment and given you guys a bit of an update, so I thought I would sit down now and do that just whilst I'm reading it. I'm about 120 pages in at the moment, and I thought now was probably a good time to sit down and go through what book I'm reading, etc. Okay, so please excuse the hair situation. I've basically made best of a bad situation, and it's just gonna have to look like this. But the first book I'm reading for today's vlog is Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. I chose this one because this is one of Alexa Ray's favourite books. I have had it on my TBR for absolutely ages, and every time she does a video where she speaks about her favourite books or her must-reads or what she'd recommend, this is always on the list, and I thought, you know what, Melody, it's about time, pick it up. So I thought this video would be a great excuse. I am currently 100 pages in, so I have already started it, and guys, this book has me kicking my feet, feeling giddy. I honestly am just obsessed with it, and I have a horrible feeling that there are going to be some really sad moments in this book, and I'm absolutely dreading it. If you guys haven't read this book, essentially you have Bree and you have Archer. I'm going to try and do this as spoiler free as possible, by the way. So you have Bree, you have Archer, and Bree basically runs away from home because something really traumatic happens. You find out what it is, I won't spoil it, but she runs away from home. She takes her dog Phoebe, which in my head, Phoebe is like a little Bichon or some tiny little fluffy dog. I don't know why, I just picture her being like white and fluffy for some reason. But anyway, so Bree and Phoebe go to this town. It's just outside of Maine, I think. She bumps into Archer Hale. Now Archer doesn't speak, so he is mute, he doesn't talk, and he hasn't really spoken to anybody for a very long time. However, Bree's dad was deaf, so she knows sign language, and he also knows sign language, so they learn to communicate through sign language, and it's just really beautiful. I can't even describe really much else that happens other than the fact that at the moment they have this really beautiful friendship, and I can tell that both characters really want it to be more, but like nothing has happened yet. So it's just a really lovely story so far, and I'm really enjoying the bond that they have, especially because, you know, they haven't done anything physical. They haven't actually spoken to each other. Like, she's spoken to him, but he obviously can't speak back, so they have been communicating through sign and through, I don't know, like through, what's the word, like he gave her a bunch of almond joy bars or some sort of almond bar thing, and you kind of get it if you read the book, but something like that is just so sweet. I guess it's acts of service, isn't it? Is that right? Anyway, it's just really, really cute, and it's making me feel very emotional, and I really feel connected to these characters. I'm in love with this book so much that I have actually ordered the special edition one, which Mia Sheridan annotated herself. I cannot wait for that to come and reread this. I am definitely going to reread it. I absolutely am just obsessed with the characters. So that is where we're at the moment. We're on page, I can tell you exactly where we are, 121, and I go on holiday in 2 days time. It is Monday evening at the moment. I've got swimming tonight, and then I've got tomorrow, and then Wednesday morning I'm up at like 2 o'clock in the morning or something. So I'd love to finish this book before I go away so I can kind of wrap up this section of the vlog and I can start a new book on the plane. So that is my goal. So I have 200 and I think 15 pages. Can she do it? Who knows? But anyway, let's carry on reading. I hope you guys don't mind my appearance. I do apologise, and I'm in my head I sound like a man, so.
Wide awake in an empty room, all alone with the thought of you. Thought I'd miss you more than I do, but I kinda like it. Should I try and hide it? Got drunk and I told you I loved you, on a night when we stayed out too late. Did I really love her? 'Cause I'm starting now to wonder, did I ever feel anything? But even though I gave back your things, from time to time you walk through my daydream. Tell me, what am I supposed to do?
So I just got to page 131, and if you know, you know, because I am squealy on the inside. I am so happy right now, and I just feel like this is what I've been waiting for 131 pages. This very moment is bringing me so much joy, so I am just obsessed.
Memories of you. Nights like this when I'm all alone, 3 a.m. and I check my phone. Don't know what I was expecting. See you out there living life. Wish I could say the same, but I still haven't found what I'm missing. Now you got me up second guessing. 'Cause even though I gave back your...
So I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it has been over 2 weeks since I last updated you, but I took Archer's voice on holiday. I completely forgot to update the vlog. I was just so involved in the universe that was Archer's voice that I just completely forgot. I didn't even think to update you guys while I was reading it, or film myself reading it, or sort of update you guys when I'd finished it. I just completely got so immersed in this book that I just forgot. So if you couldn't tell by my reaction so far, this book was a 5-star read. I absolutely loved this book so much. All the characters, bar maybe 2, were just perfection. I loved the small town vibe. I loved the kind of... I just loved this book. I completely understand why Alexa Ray loves this book so much, because I just devoured it and I got so connected to the characters that when I was reading the ending, I was this close to throwing my Kindle into the swimming pool because I thought something was going to happen, and luckily it did not, but I got so scared for a second that I was ready to just throw it away. So again, this book was a 5-star read. I'm not going to go into too much depth about what happened in the book because I like to keep these vlogs as spoiler free as possible. I think it's fun to watch people read these books, but it means that you can go ahead and read it and not know too much about what happened. But all you need to know is this was a 5-star read. I fell in love with Archer like so incredibly much, and also just the emotion of like reading a book about a couple that grow feelings for each other when one of them can't even verbalize how they're feeling. Sobbing. Absolutely sobbing. So the next book we're going to be picking up for this video is Things We Left Behind by Lucy Score. I chose this one because Larry Reeds mentions this book quite a lot and she really loved it. I've had it on my TBR for ages. It's the 3rd in the trilogy. It kind of ticks all my boxes. It's like something I need to read, something I want to read, something Larry Reed loves. I was just like, yep, this one is the one. So that is the book we're going to be reading. It's the 3rd one in a series. So if you haven't read the Knock 'Em Out series, you guys guys have to read it. It is so good. And I mean, the books are a little bit long, I'm not gonna lie. They are sort of nearing the 400 to 500 page mark, but they're just so good, and I cannot wait to read Lucian and Sloane's like story, because I just have a feeling I'm gonna love them so much. So I am so excited. So we're gonna dive in to book 3 in the trilogy, and I cannot wait. So let's go. So I thought I would sit down now and do a little bit of a reading update. So we are 64 pages in Things We Left Behind, and after hearing so many negative thoughts about this book, I really don't see where that was coming from, because I'm really enjoying it. I loved book 1 and 2 so much. They were both 5-star reads. So for me, I had high hopes, and it is really filling that. I mean, I am only 64 pages in. We still have 90% of the book to go. It is a big boy, not gonna lie to you, but I'm really enjoying it. I love Lucian's character, and Sloane is just... she's a little bit of a quiet gal, like she likes to have her own space, but I think slowly she is going to break out of that. Something may just happen so far, quite a sad start to the book, but Lucian is such a secret golden retriever, and I love it. So for example, without any spoilers, Lucian, picture him, he's really grumpy, he's like mafia style, big coat, wears a suit, smokes a cigarette kind of vibe. However, if Sloane is cold, he will not think twice about giving her his jacket. We love that. We love to see that. She says she's hungry. Like 3 minutes later, a takeaway bag of food comes and is on her lap, ready to go. Like, he is so cute. But they hate each other. It's one of those. It's like friends to enemies to lovers kind of vibes, and I'm so into it. I cannot wait to read this book. So we are 64 pages in. As I said, I'm gonna go do some more reading, and yeah, I'm just absolutely loving it so far.
I've been around, but I can't get you out of my head. Try to stray, try to forget, but the thoughts, they seem to drown me instead. I've always wondered what it takes to fill this empty void inside, but now I've realized you were what I needed this whole time.
Hello everyone, so just a pre-warning, in about 10 seconds you are going to see a clip I filmed on my phone whilst crying about this book. I also look gross. Okay, thank you, goodbye. Honestly, ignore the way I look, but this book has me sobbing. Oh, honestly, if you've read this book, I did not expect to cry. I did not expect to get emotional. I'm literally at, I'm not going to spoil it, on page 671. We are in the epilogue, and I am literally sobbing. I have a tear. Oh, that hit me. That, oh my goodness. I'm not even finished. I can't. Anyway, I have 20 pages left, and I just had to update you guys. I'm filming it on my phone. Oh, okay, let's carry on. Okay, so we have finally finished Things We Left Behind. If you guys couldn't tell from my most recent reaction video, I absolutely loved this book. I have never felt this way about a series for a very long time. Honestly, this trilogy of books is just perfection. Thor is now licking his feet. Sorry about that. Anyway, this trilogy of books, if you love romance, if you love found family, if you love spice, if you love details, if you love a bit of a mystery and a little bit of adventure, This series is incredible. This book was a 5-star read. This whole trilogy was an absolute 5-star read for me. I loved it so much, and I feel a little bit sad that this series is now over because I loved it so much. I don't really want to tell you guys too much about this series because, to be honest with you, I went into it blind and it was the best decision I've ever made, but just know that this book was incredible. I loved it. It was so good, and I'm so glad that I filmed this video and basically got this series completed because it was on my TBR for a very long time, and I feel complete now I finished it. So yeah, that was another 5-star read. Now we're moving on to book 3, which is Sophia's pick. And the book which Sophia picked for me to read is The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I have already started this book. I think I'm just over 100 pages in, and I am really enjoying it. So she did warn me previously that this book is a little bit slow to get into, but to be honest, I'm really loving it. I'm not gonna lie to you. So this one is about Calla, and basically her mum and her dad and her, when she's a baby, live in Alaska, and her mum decides that she doesn't want to live in Alaska anymore and she wants to move back to Toronto and just kind of live that sort of lifestyle. And then it basically goes 24 years into the future or something, and you're reading as Calla, the POV, and she basically, without spoiling it, gets sent back to Alaska for some reason. I won't ruin it, but when she gets there, she meets this guy called Jonah. He is basically a grumpy, bearded man. You can see where it's going, and I'm just loving it so much. So Jonah basically is a grumpy, bearded, plane driver. The word is pilot. Yeah, he basically is a pilot, and he flies for Calla's dad's company. I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, basically she has to get a lift with Jonah in this teeny tiny little plane. He is so miserable and he just gets irritated by her very easily, but you can just tell there's going to be something going on there. So that is where we're at the moment. I'm absolutely loving this. I also love the cover of this one. It's just so beautiful. I love me a sage green. If you couldn't tell, my wall over there is sage green. We are going to paint it soon, but that's besides the point. I love a sage green, so I love the cover. I'm just really enjoying it. This is a series as well, so I think it has 4 books in the series, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so that is The Simple Wild, then Wild at Heart, Forever Wild, and Running Wild. So I'm really excited to read the rest of it. But as I said, I'm 100 pages in. I'm loving it. It is so good. So anyway, let's continue reading. I hope that we can get 3 5-star reads in this video, because that'll be really amazing. We have 2 out of 3 so far, so hopefully this book pulls through and is also a 5-star read. So let's continue reading, and I will keep you guys updated with my thoughts. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I have the paperback of this book, obviously, and I have also got it on my Kindle, but am I reading it on my phone? Yes, I am. I don't know what it is about reading a Kindle book on your phone, but I find that I can set this to a continuous scroll, and I feel like I'm flying through it. So I'm actually on page 132 out of 394, and I don't know if it's just because the previous book I read for this video was 700 pages, but I feel like I'm really flying through it because we're 35% through. So anyway, I'm going to be scrolling on my phone and reading a little bit more of the book. I've got Thor here, that's what this is, and we're going to try and get through a bit more. So let's carry on. I don't even know where we're at the moment. Oh, so basically at the moment, her and her dad have been invited to a meal, and she's just found out that Jonah is also going, but Jonah just doesn't seem to like her, so she's really irritated by the fact he's there. And I say irritated, but you just know where it's gonna go. So that is where we're at the moment.
Wide awake in an empty room, all alone with the thought of you. Thought I'd miss you more than I do, but I kinda like it. Should I try and hide it? Got drunk and I told you.
So something I will say about this book that I have a feeling is going to happen is right at the beginning, her mum basically said to her, like as a joke, like don't fall in love with the pilot, because that's basically what she did years ago. And I just have a feeling that our main character is going to fall in love with Jonah, and then they're going to end up basically staying in Alaska. That is kind of my predictions of this book, which if that does happen, I think it's a really cute story. But yeah, that's my predictions. I don't think that if they fall in love, he's going to want to move to Toronto. I think maybe what will happen, This is my prediction. If you don't want it, skip ahead a few minutes. But my prediction is her and Jonah are going to become really close, and then eventually she's going to have to move back to Toronto and he's not going to want to go with her. They're going to have like a third act breakup situation, and then she's going to decide that she wants to go back to Alaska and stay with him. That is my prediction. I could be so far off the bat, but that is my guess. So Sophia, if I'm on it, 10 points to me, but that is my guess anyway. So I'm just going to keep reading. I am on page 135, so I haven't really read much since I last updated you, but I just had a thought that that is what's going to happen. So yeah, anyway, let's continue scrolling. I feel like I should be reading the paperback purely for aesthetic purposes, but I don't want to, so I'm just going to put the paperback down here and you can pretend that I'm not reading it off my phone because it's just so much easier to read off your phone. I don't know why, but anyway, right, let's continue. I don't even know where I was. They were talking about chicken. That's where I was. Anyway, right.
On the night when we stayed out too late, did I really love her? 'Cause I'm starting now to wonder, did I ever feel anything? But even though I gave back your things from time to time, you walk through my daydream. Tell me, what am I supposed to do?
Okay, so I'm going to predict that my star rating for this book is going to be a 5-star simply for Jonah alone. He is actually hilarious. Like, I'm sat here giggling to myself. He is making me laugh, and I just feel like their back and forth is just so cute, and I'm going to love it. So I'm going to rate it a 5-star. Thor is currently sat with me because Stefan and Ryan are sorting out the flat next door, so there's a lot of banging going on. So I've sat us in the bedroom, and I think he now wants to evacuate. I think he's had enough of me, so I'm gonna let him out and I'm gonna keep reading and update you guys when something else happens. But yeah, we are 37% into the book now, and I'm loving it. It's so good. Guys, I'm so sorry about the jump scare. I honestly look like a little gnome cross librarian, and I am not living for it, but I don't have a single smidgen of makeup on. My hair is not done, but I just couldn't wait to tell you about this book because I just finished this book and I don't know what is in this. Sophia, what is in this book? Because I am obsessed with this universe. Honestly, I had every single emotion whilst reading this book. I laughed, I physically cried, I kicked my feet. I was screaming at this book. This book had everything that I wanted in a book. And do you know what? When I first picked this up, I was a little bit skeptical because I have heard people say they read this and couldn't finish it. And I'm just thinking, like, why? Why could you not finish it? I'll tell you for why. Because there was no real romance, I'm not gonna lie, till page like 190. This is a 370 page book. So like near the end of the book, actually no, I think it was less than that. Maybe it was on like page 200 and something. But anyway, the spice and the kind of romance was very dragged out. It was a very big slow burn. If you don't like slow burns, you might not like this book, but I beg you to give it a chance because this was a 5-star read. So in this book, you've got Calla, you've got Jonah, you've got heartache, you've got romance, you've got slow burn, you've got found family, you've got basically everything in this book. It is so good. So basically Calla goes to Alaska to visit her dad. She's not spoken to him since she was 2 and now she's 26 or something. She stays in, I want to keep saying Alaska, it's not Alaska. Is it? Yes, it is. I'm getting confused. It's very late. I keep thinking I'm going to say Arizona, but it's Alaska. Anyway, she stays in Alaska for a little while longer than expected for a certain reason, and I won't say why because it will spoil it. But this is just, I can't even describe it. Jonah is a pilot. That's all you need to know. He is a broody, moody, bearded pilot, and she just, it's great. Their banter and their kind of back and forth had me actually laughing out loud. It was so funny, very quick-witted. I just really love this book. There is more in the series, so I believe there's 3 more books in this series, and I will be buying all of them because I need to know what happens in this universe. I'm obsessed with the characters and I loved every single second of this book. I think I read it in like 2 or 3 sittings. It was just really easy to do, and at the moment I am in like a little bit of a slump. So saying that, this was just brilliant. Again, a 5-star read. I'm obsessed with it. Sophia, you picked beautifully. I am just so happy that you made me finally pick this up because it was just amazing. It was so good. So I can't quite believe that we have finished this video and we have read 3 5-star reads. I am so impressed, and I loved every single book. Honestly, every single book I read in this video was just top tier. I enjoyed them all thoroughly. And what does this tell you? It tells you that you can really trust YouTubers' favourite book picks, because every single book was a 5-star read. So thank you so much, Alexa and Larry, for helping me read these books. I've had them on my list for ages. And thank you so much, Sophia, for collaborating with me on this video. If you guys haven't seen her channel, I will have it linked in the description along with her video, so make sure you check it out. But that is everything. Thank you so much for watching as always. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.